Hey, what's up you guys, it's Connor. Today we are going to be doing another book haul. I received some books from publishers, and I also have the books that I wasn't able to fit into my birthday book haul because I was sick right before it, and I didn't want to get my family sick. So today, I'm going to show you all the books that I have gotten or received since the last one. The first one is this book. It says, "You're a Wildcat Now," so I guess that's got something to do with the book. This one is from Simon & Schuster. Oh, wow. And there was a varsity letter for Wildcats, and it looks like it's going to be lacrosse. And here is We Are the Wildcats by Siobhan Vivian. So this one follows a group of girls. They are all on the lacrosse team, I believe. And one night during a sleepover, I think it's right before a big game, they start, revealing secrets, or secrets start coming out, and it's all about how far they'll go for their team and everything like that. This one is probably out already. March, comes out in March. It doesn't say an exact date, but this one is coming out this month, so keep an eye out. Next up is this one. This one is from Simon & Schuster. On it, it says Peter Kay and Laura Jean. So this makes me think that this has something to do with To All the Boys I Loved Before by Jenny Han. And there is P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han. I don't know what number this is in the series, but I haven't read any of them. I did watch the movie adaptation. And then also in here, hair clips, which I will not be using. Twizzlers. What else is in here? It's just a bunch of candy, I think. I think this was for Valentine's Day. Popcorn. That's a cute touch. It says, To Laura Jean from PK. And then there's also a blue scrunchie, which probably has something to do with the movie/book, but I don't know, because I haven't read them. This was in celebration of the second movie coming out on Netflix, so that already came out. I think I might have watched it already, so awesome. Thanks, guys. Next up is this package. This one is from Macmillan, so possibly Tor. And there was The Relentless Moon by Mary Robinette Kowal. This is the same author who wrote The Calculating Stars, which I have read. So this is actually the third book in that series. It's The Calculating Stars, The Faded Sky. Yes, and then this is the third book in that series, The Relentless Moon. This one comes out July 14th. I'll have to read the second book before I get to it. In the first book, it follows a group of women who are trying to become lady astronauts. I think that this series is called the Lady Astronaut series. At the beginning of the book, a meteor, one of those two, hits the east coast of the United States and wipes out a ton of people. And it starts this process where the Earth is going to become uninhabitable, and it's a race to try to figure out how to get into space and everything like that. These women are trying to become astronauts. I enjoyed the first book, so I'm looking forward to continuing on with the series. I have the second one, and now I have the third one. This one is quite a bit thicker than the other two, but if it all sounds interesting to you, I definitely recommend it. The only thing with the first book is that they make a lot of spaceship puns when getting intimate, so be aware of that before going in. I thought it was funny, but other people did not think it was funny. They just thought it was uncomfortable. So, yeah, know that going in, but The Relentless Moon comes out July 14th. Next up is this one. This one is also from Macmillan. Automatic Reload by Ferret Steinmetz. This one is from Tor, and it comes out in May of 2020. At the top it says, she's got a panic disorder, he's got PTSD, they can both kick your ass. It says on this piece of paper that Automatic Reload is the genre's most unexpected, heartfelt romantic comedy with explosions. So it seems like they team up to kick some ass. I'll let you guys know what I think when I get to it. This one is also from Tor. I don't know if I said that already. Then I got this one, which is from Simon & Schuster. In there was Heart of Flames by Nikki Palpretto. This is the second book after Crown of Feathers. They also sent this artwork along with it that says Crown of Feathers on it. I did an individual review for the first book, Crown of Feathers, so I'll leave that up in the card symbol if you want to check it out. But it follows 4 main characters. It follows 2 sisters. At the beginning of the book, you find out that they have both types of magic in this world. One set of magic allows people to talk to animals, which used to be favored, but now is not favored anymore. And then there's also an ability for people to meddle with people's minds. These girls have both abilities. And then it also follows 2 boys that have the power to talk to animals. One of them is in the military, like against his will. And then the other one is a part of this rebel group that ride around on phoenixes. The girls are trying to find phoenix eggs so that they can become phoenix riders. And it just follows them as they're navigating this mess of a world and trying to, save it, I guess. After reading the first book, I saw a lot of potential in this story and these characters, so I'm excited to see where they go next. I think in my review, I talked about how that the characters are going to be messy, so it's more just like you're invested in seeing how the mess unfolds and how they react to it. So I'm excited to continue that process. After that, I got another package from Macmillan. And there was Scammed by Kristen Simmons. This is the second book in whatever series this is. They sent me the first book in the series, which is called The Deceivers. I have not read this one yet, but I am still interested in reading it. It follows this girl named Bryn, and I think she gets accepted into like this spy academy or like something like that. But I am mostly interested in reading this because my niece's name is Bryn. But I also saw when they announced that they were changing the covers to this, I was like, that is a terrible decision. I hate this cover. This one is so much better. Like, I would read this. I think that this is terrible. If I were to keep this book, would probably just take off the dust jacket and just leave it as a plain black book. You know, don't judge a book by its cover and everything like that, but this is a better cover than this, I think. Still need to read this one. I don't know. I'll probably throw away the cover if I decide to keep this book. Next up is another one from Macmillan, and there was A Conjuring of Assassins by Kate Glass. I think that this is the second book in the series as well. It is. The first book is called An Illusion of Thieves, which I also have a copy of, but have not read yet because I'm so far behind. I do really like the covers of these, but this one follows this girl at the beginning of the book. She has gotten out of her crummy living situation by becoming a courtesan or something of the court, and her brother gets in trouble, and to save her brother she ends up getting punished herself. But then she finds out about this plot to overthrow the Shadow Lord, and then she's trying to stop that from happening. So I will let you guys know when I read these. And the last book that I think in this book haul was sent by a publisher is this one. If you can't guess what it is gonna be Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. So let's see. Oh my gosh, all the confetti. So in there was a copy of Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. This is the first book in her most recent Shadowhunter series. This book comes out March 3rd, and by the time I put this video up, March 3rd will have already passed. So this book is already out, and you can check it out if you want to. I've heard that you don't have to read all of her previous books, but you probably should read The Infernal Devices, because I think this series follows the children from that other series. Right here, the first book is called Clockwork Angel. And if you guys don't know, most of Cassandra Clare's books are set in the Shadowhunter universe, and they all interrelate. There's characters that cross over between series and everything like that. This is also the pick for the House Salt Book Club for March. You don't even have to really read the book if you don't care about spoilers. So, March 28th. I have one more package here, and I know I said that that was the last one sent by a publisher, but I'm not exactly sure what's in here because it is so thin. So in there was this. I saw this on Twitter. Neil Gaiman retweeted this Kickstarter. I supported it because I thought it was a cool idea. This is actually a comic book, and that comic is Pathway versus the Gasp. This is about a character, a superhero that has CF, and the author also has CF, cystic fibrosis. And I thought it was really cool to see a superhero that has cystic fibrosis and see that representation in comics because you don't often see that. And I wanted to support it because I thought that it was a really cool idea. I was actually supposed to meet the author, or one of the co-creators, Jeremiah Stemple, but I ended up getting sick and I didn't want to get him sick, so I had to cancel on that. But this is what some of the artwork looks like, and I just thought it was really cool. I definitely am going to be reading this because I love comics and I wanted to support it, so I did. And then there's also a card and a little note that thanked me for, you know, supporting the Kickstarter. The rest are all books that I was not able to fit in my last book haul. The first of those is Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky. This is a Russian classic, and I don't know too much about the plot. I just figured that it would probably have something to do with crime and punishment and the law. I read The Brothers Karamazov by him and really enjoyed it. I was gonna do a review and then I totally forgot and didn't do it. But I am definitely interested in continuing with some of his other works. His work tends to be very long because his books were serialized, so they came out chapter by chapter, and he just kept them going for a really long time. This one's actually only 500 and something pages, so I should be able to get to this one and read it in a reasonable amount of time. I recently have been doing some shifting on my shelves. It used to be down here, but now I think it's over there. So I'm going to be adding this to my classics collection and the books that I'm gearing up to read, hopefully this year. My parents also gave me Holy Sister by Mark Lawrence. This is the third book in the Book of the Ancestor series. This one follows a character named Nona. At the beginning of the first book of the series, she's about to be hanged, and she gets saved, and she gets taken to this convent where she is trained as a warrior nun. This world is slowly dying because it just is. Like, it's getting colder and colder. The strip of land that is habitable is becoming narrower and narrower, and people are being nasty and mean, and people hate Nona and want to kill her. I have thoroughly enjoyed this series so far, and I really want to see how it ends. I've heard some mixed things about this, but I'm excited to see what happens nonetheless. And then they also gave me Starsight by Brandon Sanderson. This is the second book after Skyward, which I did a book review for, so I'll leave that up in the card symbol if you want to check it out. But this one follows a character named Spensa, and at the beginning of the book, she wants to join the Defense Force, the Detritus Defense Force, the DDF, which basically repels all of these aliens that are attacking them over and over and over again. Her only problem is that her father was killed when he was fleeing a battle, so he was labeled a coward, and now she is the daughter of a coward, so it causes her problems, and it just follows her during that whole situation. This is Brandon Sanderson's version of A Boy and His Dragon, but instead it's a girl and her spaceship, so there is a spaceship in here that is basically an AI, and he is so funny, or it is so funny. They are so funny. And I really enjoyed seeing them interact in the first book. I'm excited to see what happens next because I want to see how he expands this world and this story. With how the first book ended, I'm excited to see how everything goes from that ending. So I'll let you guys know what I think when I do get to this one. I will probably be doing a book review for it as well. My sister and my brother-in-law gave me Barakamon Volume 5. I have read the first 3 volumes of this series and have enjoyed them immensely. This series follows a calligrapher, and at the beginning of the book, he has a breakdown, and he has to go to this island to get a breath of fresh air, relax, and work on his calligraphy, and this town that's on this island starts investing in him, and he gets invested in the people of this town, and I love it. I love how funny it is, I love how sweet it is, and so I'm really excited to continue along with it. They also gave me The Twits by Roald Dahl. I don't know anything about this book, I don't know what it's about, but I'm excited nonetheless. I recently did the first book in my Roald Dahl reading project. Before that video went up, which I'll leave up at the card symbol, I had never read anything by Roald Dahl, so I decided that this year I wanted to read a lot of books by him and do reviews and watch whatever adaptations there are for those books. I don't know if The Twits has an adaptation. At least I've never seen it, if there is one. I'm excited to get to this one when I get to it. They also gave me Charlie and the Glass Elevator, which is the sequel to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which I hauled in one of my previous book hauls from this year. Again, this is just continuing Charlie's story. And then they also gave me George's Marvelous Medicine, which I've heard is some people's favorite Roald Dahl book, so I'm excited to get to this one as well. Don't know anything about it. I love these editions too from Puffin, so I wanted to continue to collect these because I think they're really pretty, and I'm really excited to have them all lined up on the shelves together. And the last thing in this haul is this. My parents gave me the Ernest Hemingway set that is by Juniper Books. Juniper Books has done the covers for these, and I think that they are just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I've never read anything by Ernest Hemingway before, so I figured that now's the time to fix that as well. Another reading project for me. I especially wanted to read something by him because I live in Florida, and he had a house in Key West, and I've been to it, but I've never read anything by him. So I'm excited to dive into his works and see what he is about, and I think there are some letters in here as well. He had a very interesting life towards the end, so I'm excited to learn more. Let me know where I should start with Ernest Hemingway, because I have no idea. So those are all the books that I have gotten since the last book haul. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and comment down below which books I should be prioritizing over others. If you have any opinion on where to start with Ernest Hemingway, let me know that as well. Anything else you want me to know, leave it down below, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.